Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you, but I'm lying because this one is actually a follower submission. Title of this story is Am I the Astronaut for lying to my sister about a present I never actually intended to give her, resulting in her attacking someone? There's a lot to unpack there. And by the way, OP, if you're in chat and you want to claim your story, you know what to do. I, female 24, have a sister, female 22, who lives a few states away from me. We see each other a few times a year and usually get along pretty well. We were never extremely close growing up, but after moving out of our parents' house, wasn't the best situation for either of us, we were able to bond more, even with the space between us. I mostly do wedding photography and senior pictures, but am occasionally booked to photograph events at local venues, concert, birthdays, that sort of thing. Last year, I got the super cool opportunity to take photographs at a 21 Savage concert, which is an artist both I and my sister enjoy a ton. She especially is very into his music, so I got on my high horse and bragged about the pictures and sent them to her and a few of our mutual friends. She thought the pics were so cool and started asking me things about 21 Savage and how cool it was to meet him. I told her he was super nice. I got to hear some unreleased tracks and he invited me to photograph more concerts in the area whenever he came on tour again. Everyone was so jealous and my sister seemed a bit upset about it. Here's the thing, I did not meet 21 Savage. Nope, didn't even get a hello in. I took pics of the concert and that was it. But when everyone started asking me about this totally cool experience I never had, I guess I loved the attention so much that I went with it. So for months, I told my sister I was in contact with 21 Savage's management. Here's where I might be the bunghole. I told my sister I was working on getting her backstage passes to his show in Arkansas, which is only a few hours away from where she lives. She kept asking me about it every couple of weeks, and every time I'd say, "Oh, I'm working on it. He's been super busy, so I'm gonna see." But I never actually intended to get her backstage passes because, well, I don't know 21 Savage or his management team. It was fun at first, but I got too far into the joke. Months kept going by and she kept asking about the concert and I got nervous. So I started telling her the passes were on their way. The concert was in May. She got all dressed up, all fancy, and brought her friends along who had all bought normal long tickets with her. I didn't know what to do, so I photoshopped a fake backstage pass together. I bought her a normal lawn ticket too. You Photoshop a fake backstage pass. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and there were several red flag moments before this one, but we're gonna go ahead and red flag this because now it's like potentially legal trouble. She can get her ass just thrown out of the concert. Period. Like there's a lot that can happen when you start doing this shit. My plan was that when she got to the venue and they declined her backstage pass, I would explain that I must have been scammed and sent her the normal ticket that I purchased just in case. She would still get to enjoy the show and my lies would be put to rest. Win-win, I thought. However, when the venue tried to explain to my sister that this backstage pass was completely fake, she blew up on them, verbally berated the staff, and was very adamant that she speak with 21 Savage's management team or him directly because they gave her the pass. They told her she was batshit. I don't disagree. So sis calls me and I act all confused and proceed to send her lawn tickets to make up for it. According to her friends, she was in a bad mood for the first half of the show and was hitting the drink stand pretty hard, mumbling about how she's supposed to meet 21 Savage and whatnot. She worked her way up to the pit entrance, which she did not have access to. They have wristbands, and tried to pick a fight with the security staff in order to get backstage again. They refused and she tried to push right past them, which they did not allow. And she actually ended up decking one of the security guards in the face pretty badly from what I heard. They kicked her out of the venue, and instead of leaving with her, her friends told her they'd be out after the show and didn't even unlock the car for her. So she just sat by the car listening to the rest of the concert. She called me as she was sitting in the parking lot, explained everything that had happened, and finally questioned if I had lied about everything or if I'd really been scammed. I decided enough was enough and told her the passes were faked by me and that I just got too deep into the joke, but her real present was the tickets anyway. She lost her ever-loving shit on me, albeit she was drunk, but damn, I never heard her speak that way to anyone, ever. I understand what I did may have been morally questionable, but I did get her a present and got her into her favorite artist's show, just not backstage. Hold up, I gotta read that line again, because that line, I feel like, is very important. I understand what I did may have been morally questionable, but I did get her a present and got her into her favorite artist's show, just not backstage. May have been morally questionable. I felt justified in my gift, but she is telling everyone that I got her publicly embarrassed and banned from a venue, which is correct, right? Some of our friends agree with me and are trying to remind my sister that her actions are her own and I did not force her to attack a security guard, while others are saying that I played an extremely cruel trick, namely our cousins. I'll be honest, I know I messed up a bit here, but I think she's overreacting at an extreme level. Her actions have consequences, and she should know that. Yes, I lied and I paid for that by buying her a ticket. She dug her own grave by doing what she did, and I really feel that while what I did was wrong, I cleared my portion of responsibility for the situation up and have no guilt for it. But she still blames me and barely speaks to me. I've asked how I can fix the situation, and all she tells me is that I can't. I think she's the asshole here, to be honest. She assaulted a security officer. I just used my Photoshop skills. But my friends have urged me to send this story to you since we're all fans. What's your take here, Dusty? Shit! The fact that you're a follower. Let me start this off by saying I'm sorry for what's about to happen to you. Okay? The one and only, to help give some feedback to this follower, doesn't mean we're going to sugarcoat anything. Candy Thunder! I'm just taking
I feel like if Rob can still be friends with Aaron on Love Island, we can still be friends with our follower here. I don't think that OP is gonna, even if they are in chat, they're definitely not claiming this story because I think you know that you're the asshole, or maybe you don't. But Yar, I'm sorry, you really are the asshole.
Yar, Yar.
None of this would have happened if you hadn't lied to your sister. So your lying set all, it's like the butterfly effect. Like your lying set everything in motion. Your sister would not have hit somebody at a concert had you not lied to your sister. So
True.
You are the asshole, 100%. And I feel like you owe your sister a huge, huge apology because like you literally, yeah. I mean, obviously the sister did what she did, but she would not have believed as strongly had you not lied to your sister. So
Yeah.
you did her very wrong, and you have a lot of kissing ass to do.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys caught on to this as the story was progressing, but you have to acknowledge that you went from I got caught up in the moment and liked the attention, so I lied. That later became a joke. So you've convinced yourself somehow that it was all a joke that you were doing.
Yeah.
But if it's a joke, that means it was intentional. That
Yeah.
means that you did this in the very beginning to play a joke on someone, which is not true. You lied because you were caught up in the moment and you got, and the attention swept you away. You've admitted that, and that's okay. That's understandable, but letting it drag on for this amount of time, and I understand why your sister got batshit the way that she did because you fed this fantasy for so long. Like you actually fed this fantasy of hers like it was a pet of yours. And that is dangerous. So of course her reaction is amplified because you've been feeding into this fantasy. Now, her reaction's still not okay. It's not okay to assault somebody.
No, never.
It's not okay to get belligerent. She definitely overreacted on her end. But you are 100% responsible for that happening.
I agree.
So while
100%.
it isn't everyone sucks here because you both suck, you are more of an asshole in this occasion because you built up what became an explosion. You built it up, you lit the match, you did everything, right? Like you really leaned into it hard here. And then somehow have convinced yourself that what was you lying because you got caught up in the moment turned into a joke, then turned into a potentially morally questionable thing, then turned into I just utilized my Photoshop skills. Quit minimizing what you're doing. You've done it 4 times. You have 4 different layers of minimization here. Like just be honest with yourself and be like, I f***ed up, not just once, but 1,000 times because I went ahead and stood on that original up and said, I'm gonna ride or die this bitch. Here's the result.
I don't know that your sister's going to forgive you anytime soon. That's all I'm going to say about that. It would take a lot for me to forgive someone for doing this to me, for keeping up a lie for so long. I would be, it was just weird. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I don't have this kind of time. And I think like, I got asked like what my opinion was on that revenge story where she like waited a year and like messed up his entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like, I don't have time for revenge. I'm going to let karma do its job. And I feel like, especially when it comes to stuff, like let karma handle it and you'll be good. Because when you waste your time with revenge, it just sucks you down a dark hole because you're not going to be happy with yourself when you hurt someone else.
Yeah.